I think it's been a terrific start, but boy, the problems that he had to encounter between the snowstorms and the breakdown of the MBTA and the commuter rail system, all of that in your first, I don't know, 2 months is just amazing. And having to make those decisions weekend after weekend after weekend, whether to ask people to stay home or not. And he just really, it was a rough start. Nothing that he created, nothing that was within his control, but I think he handled it masterfully. And then dealing with this structural deficit, it was a pretty big challenge. And the collaboration between the governor, the speaker, the Senate president, and the House and the Senate members all just worked very, very well.
I think it's very important that we get things done, first of all. I think there are those, maybe when this governor had started and said, oh, you have a democratically controlled House and Senate and a Republican governor, that there were naysayers who said, you know, this isn't going to work. They're going to be at each other's throats right at the beginning. And I think that we have proven them to be wrong. First of all, with the addressing of the shortfall from last fiscal year, I think we came out and showed in a very rapid fashion. We came to an agreement and got things done. And I'm hoping that that type of cooperation will continue. I've
had a great working relationship with the governor. We speak regularly, our staffs speak regularly. That's really important. I think that's what people want. I also appreciate that we share some common bonds. As folks may know, we're both basketball players. Governor's got a much better baseline jumper than I do. But we also share a commonality in that we're both new to elective office. And so it's been a busy time for both of us, and certainly for his administration.
He and I get along very well, partly because we're both policy wonks, but also we're committed, as is the speaker, to disagreeing when we do without being disagreeable. And we've had, you know, we've had some different approaches to getting the work done, but we've gotten the work done so far and gotten it done well, and there hasn't been a harsh word, and there's been no breakdown in communication.
I'm sure there will be disagreements with some line item within the confines of the budget. Not only with the governor, with the Senate as well. It just goes with the territory that you can't have about almost a $32 billion budget and not have some disagreements as to what is the best place for money to be spent.
True, and we both came from this experience of having spent a lot of time, 1.5 years, out on the road, out on the campaign, meeting with people across the state, listening to their stories, and I think it had an impact on both of us. And certainly we heard a lot about the problem with heroin, the problem with opioids, and it's why we spoke very candidly, even before either one of us took office, to say, hey, this is top priority, let's work together, let's see what we can do here.
Because he's such a good listener, I think that he gets the best ideas from people around him, and I see it in our leadership meetings that he listens very, very carefully.
And we communicate regularly, and you know, sometimes it's joking. I complimented him on his new haircut.
So I don't think he was afforded any type of a honeymoon. I think baptism by fire may be more appropriate for the governor.
You can get a very good read on somebody, but somebody who's faced the kind of challenges that he faced in his first 100 days, which was most unusual for an incoming governor, I'd have to say you got a pretty good measure of the man based on how he performed in these 100 days.